Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Are restrictive EDs fatphobic? Today we're going to take a look at a couple of clips from a couple different people claiming that they are. Is this just narcissism completely run amok, where one group of people is trying to make everything about them? Like somebody with a restrictive ED is like, oh man, I feel terrible about my body and I don't want to gain weight. And then somebody who is larger is like, that means that you hate me because I am larger than you. Is this the narcissism to end all narcissism? The final boss of narcissism, if you will. To investigate further, I must first apply comb to mustache.
I know that I'm probably gonna get ate up by this in the comment sections, but I really don't care because it's the truth. And a lot of y'all need to admit to yourselves that restrictive eating disorders are fatphobic.
And what if somebody with a restrictive ED were to call fat people restrictive ED phobic? It's just as ludicrous, right?
Like, y'all really be coming up on social media or just in real life talking about everybody's body is beautiful while being on your third day not eating.
Right, they said everybody's body is beautiful, and then they have their own personal issues that are causing them to act this way, and they have nothing to do with you. How self-centered are you?
Like, that doesn't make no sense. If everybody's body is beautiful, how come yours isn't? How come fat people isn't?
How come fat people isn't? They never said anything about your body. They're only concerned with their own body. People with a restrictive ED are so caught up in their own thing that they're not paying attention to what you're doing at all. They're battling a deadly mental illness, and all you can say is, hey, wait, if you think that you're fat, how fat do you think I am? How can I make this about myself? Bruh. It's like somebody with an excess of body hair getting mad at cancer patients for losing all their hair. They're like, man, I would love to be that hairless. Can you think for 1 second of how this is personally affecting me and how I feel, even though you're battling a deadly disease?
Because what you're is being fat.
Because what you're, and then it cut. I didn't do that. Let's go back.
Who isn't? Because what you're is being fat.
Because what you're, and then it cut, is being fat. Okay?
You're scared of being fat.
Right, they are scared of being fat themselves. This has nothing to do with you. I can't believe that you would try to turn this around and make it about yourself.
I think fat people are disgusting.
They perceive themselves as being fat, even if they are not, because of all the mental issues tied in with this disorder.
You think fat people are ugly and you don't want to be fat.
Why do I have to keep reiterating this whole time that what somebody says about themselves has nothing to do with you? Man, I'm such a lazy ass. I didn't even go to the gym today. I really hate myself, man. I definitely should have gone to the freaking gym. Dude, what is wrong with me? What the hell is that supposed to mean? You know that I haven't been to the gym in months, if ever. Have you ever thought about how the negative things you say about yourself might affect me? How is this affecting me? The center of the universe, me.
You restrict yourself from eating because you think fat people are disgusting.
So you're not at all concerned that somebody is restricting themselves from eating? All you can think of when you see that is, oh man, they're thinner than I am. Like, that's literally all you're getting from this. It's so bizarre, man.
And don't deserve to live. Like, y'all will legitimately feel like you want to end your life because you don't want to be fat. That doesn't seem fatphobic to you?
No, it seems like somebody that's battling a deadly mental illness. And for you to turn it around and make it about yourself is just completely ridiculous, honestly. I don't even have anything hilarious to say about that.
It doesn't?
Okay, so that was a ridiculous level of narcissism, but we're just getting started. The next creator that we're going to look at is saying basically the same exact thing. We're going to look at a couple of different clips from this person. Alright, they're going to respond to the caption that says, dude, living with an ED is hard. Saying we are fatphobic doesn't help. I'm recovering and living my best life, focusing on important stuff in life. I agree, bashing people for their EDs because you feel like it's all about you is not helpful.
I think it's time we have a conversation. Trigger warning, this is going to be an uncomfortable conversation, so if you find that you're in a really vulnerable place right now, maybe put this video on pause and come back later.
Translation, yo, I'm about to say some crazy ass shit, so if you're going to be offended by it, You should have clicked off. This is your warning. I didn't know we could do that. I'm going to start prefacing all my videos with the same exact statement. Yo, shit's about to get crazy. If you stay watching this video, it's basically your own fault.
Here's the uncomfortable reality. If you have an intense fear of weight gain or becoming fat, such as required for a diagnosis of anorexia nervosa, recurrent episodes of binging and then purging to avoid weight gain, required for a diagnosis of bulimia nervosa,
required for a diagnosis of blah, 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 blah. Oh man, this chick is legit, dude. She keeps authoritatively reading.
Or if you have BDD and your preoccupation has to do with body size, it would be literally impossible for you to not be fatphobic.
First of all, fat phobia isn't a thing at all, but if it were, it would just be people who dislike people living in larger bodies. The criteria here being some sort of external dislike of somebody else. Being obsessed with or disliking certain aspects of yourself literally has nothing to do with anyone else.
Because fatphobia is the fear or hatred of fat bodies. That doesn't mean you're a bad person, and in my next video I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, spoiler alert, there was no next video. I went to her page, I scrolled all the way back to July of last year when she made that video and looked. And the video she made after that was just a what I eat in a day video. And I saw another video from this person claiming that they're recovering from binge eating disorder. So I don't know why they're trying to speak authoritatively on restrictive EDs. They do, however, have a lot more things to say on this topic. A lot of spicy hot takes. Next, I don't need to unlearn fatphobia. I have an eating disorder. You're invalidating me. I like how they have to use all these different characters and stuff to try to get around the censorship involved with this particular topic. TikTok apparently doesn't want you speaking about this.
In my world, everyone's a pony, and they all eat rainbows and poop butterflies.
If that's what helps you cope. All right, let's look at what they said again. They said, I don't need to unlearn fatphobia. I have an eating disorder. You're invalidating me. And then this person says, if that's what helps you cope. Yeah, I know you got an ED or whatever the hell. Shut up. All right, we're going to talk about me and how I feel. As the unquestioned queen and ruler of this planet, I think she's right. I mean, clearly she runs this piece.
Beautiful, Katie.
I love the trend of putting moronic audio that has nothing to do with anything as the backtrack for your videos talking about fatphobia. It'll be like a clip from a movie where somebody's like, no, this is not okay. And then it'll show the creator on screen, like with words on the screen that say, when fatphobia rears its ugly head. And then they're just pantomiming like, when you use TikTok to like dance to other people's music and stuff, that's one thing because you're doing your own kind of little dance or whatever. But when you pantomime to like movie sounds and stuff, that's just a whole nother level of uncreative and unoriginal. You use the spoken words that other people spoke from movies to show how you feel. You couldn't just move the old mouthpiece there. Next, oh snap, this one has a crossover with one of my favorite creators, Megs for Fun. Is this gonna be fun? If history has taught us anything, it is that it will be very fun. She never disappoints. Alright, it's titled, How Do You Measure and Track Health Without Participating in Fatphobia? Or phobia. I like that. That's how I'm going to start saying fatphobia from now on. It's super simple to say it that way.
Measure and track health without participating in fatphobia.
I can answer that for you. You don't. Measuring and tracking your health at all is fatphobic. You hate entire groups of people and you want them to no longer exist because you tracked how many calories you ate and how many steps you took for the day with your Fitbit. If you own a Fitbit, you are a eugenicist. I think we can all agree on that, right? That's the clear, logical conclusion that we can all come to right here.
Most people like myself, when you first start your fitness journey, you go to the gym, you lift weights, you avoid cardio.
You avoid cardio? Who told you to do that? Why are you doing that? You trying to get big?
Trying to sculpt your body. But after a long period of time, I realized I hated doing that. It was really boring, but I forced myself to do it because that was what I was supposed to do. And
okay, that's you. I love how none of these people can see beyond their own nose. Back when I used to go to the gym, I was obsessive, and I would go there just because of fatphobia, just because I was so concerned with XYZ. Okay, cool, dude. Well, you know, a lot of people go to the gym for a lot of different reasons. Not everybody is you. You have to know that other people have a completely unique experience in this life, right? You know that there's billions of other people out there, right? And their motivations and the things that reward them are different than yours. I know, it's crazy. All right, for no reason at all, let's take a look at my dog, Rocco, who's wearing a cone because his ear is injured and we don't want him to scrape off the scab. Oh, look at that cone boy. I don't show him as often because he's bigger and harder to pick up. But look, you can't have Rocco without a cameo from Lily. She sensed that I was giving him attention and I was loving him, and she just couldn't have that. She's like, oh, no, you damn don't. When Rocco asks, what are things that I do that other dogs hate? Lily's answer is existing.
And one day I decided to try a group fitness class and I was obsessed. And I remember when 6 months went by and I hadn't weighed myself on accident because I was so focused on trying to lift heavier, run faster on the treadmill, and I get so excited when I meet those goals. That's when I realized I was no longer working out for cosmetic conditioning.
Okay, well, if you do want to work out for cosmetic conditioning, whatever that means, is perfectly fine. It's funny how so many people in the fat acceptance community say that it's not okay to work out because you want to look good, because that's fatphobic, but many of them have a face full of makeup. I'm not saying that this person necessarily does, but it's very common. We just meant it's not okay to want to look good by exercising and working hard. It's only okay to want to look good by putting another person's face over your face. Some people have so much makeup on that they're literally like wearing a mask. I wear the mask sometimes for hours at a time. Isn't that hilarious that I know that song? Why? Why do I know that song? I'm way too old to know that song. But the fact is, I need help. I'm failing all my classes. That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask is.
Working out because I loved fitness in and of itself.
Worked out for fitness. All right, gotcha. You win. You're the most deep. You're the least superficial of the whole bunch. You win. The rest of us are just over here being honest. I'm not saying that looking good should be somebody's sole motivation. There's a lot of motivators. But looking good, that could definitely be one of them. Next, how people with BDD perpetuate harm.
I hate my nose. Oh my god, it's so ugly. Girl, why are you telling me that when you know my nose is huge? No.
Girl, why are you trying to make this about you and your big nose? I said my nose is big and I think it's ugly. Stop making everything about you all the time, Sandra. This is like if I was like, man, I feel like such an idiot. And then somebody from the fat acceptance community comes along and they're like, what? Shh, dude, hold my beer.
Oh, your nose is beautiful. Like you, oh my god, your whole family has beautiful big noses. And it just like runs in your family and it's so beautiful. My nose, oh my god.
Right, people shouldn't obsess on dumb stuff, but you're not harming anybody else by disliking certain aspects of yourself. This is not an outward projection of harm against others. It's just being, perhaps a little too critical of ourselves. We need to be a little easier on ourselves, allow ourselves to make mistakes, and not be hyper-focused on silly stuff.
But you know I get bullied for my nose. Why would you tell me that?
But you know I get bullied for my nose. Why would you tell me that? Dude, ditch this friend immediately. If you're doing this intentionally, just to stick it to your big-nosed friend, that's one thing. But if you're just like openly and honestly speaking about your own issues and they keep turning it around and making it about themselves, we have an issue here.
I have body dysmorphia, so I see my nose as bigger than yours.
All right, well, you're not allowed to have body dysmorphia now. So I'm sorry that you feel that way, but no, my nose is bigger. I win. I'm the most oppressed.
It's bigger than yours. It's huge. Like, oh my god.
I love the level of acting that they put into that. Like, oh my god. That was an Oscar-worthy performance. But was it a waste of so much energy and emotions? It's not my place to be the judge of that. I'm just a guy with a microphone and a flower. What do you want? And an amazing poster. You know that people have come into my house like repairmen and stuff like that and seen that poster just chilling on the wall? I didn't even explain it. I didn't even explain it to them. Like, yeah, I do videos for the internet or whatever. I just leave it and I don't say a damn word. Let them think whatever they want about me. When you are truly free from other people's judgments, you'll do a bunch of weird stuff and then not even explain it. Just let them think whatever they want. They'll be like, man, that guy, the most narcissistic, self-centered goofball that I've ever met. And that's fine. Think whatever you want. Next. Alright, now she's responding to a comment that says, "Babe, being fat can come with diseases. Not always, but it is a common side effect."
This belief that being fat increases your risk for disease is outdated.
The belief that being fat increases your risk for disease is outdated. Well, just so you know that like when a new study comes out, it doesn't automatically take precedent over all the previous studies just because it's newer. Okay, so now that we've established that, let's go ahead and continue.
Recent research in fat studies actually links dieting and weight cycling for an increased risk of disease.
Okay, well those studies are nonsense, and I would look into who funded them.
In fact, the reduction of adipose tissue increases your risk for type 2 diabetes.
What? What? Dude, that is an outright lie, and it is a complete reversal of the truth. An excess of adipose tissue increases your risk for type 2 diabetes, and it is hormonally active. It throws your entire body out of whack. Dude, how could you sit here with a straight face and say that a lack of adipose tissue increases your risk for type 2 diabetes? Yeah, you know all those thin people that have type 2 diabetes? I mean, it does happen, but not nearly as much as it happens to obese people, although it is completely linked to diet. If you eat nothing but sugary crap all the time, you're gonna get type 2 diabetes. You're gonna get the diabetes. So you're telling me if I have a headache, I should hit myself in the head with this hammer? That will fix it? This is just crazy enough to work.
And the research shows that fat bodies are actually better at fighting diseases than thin bodies.
Fat bodies are better at fighting disease than thin bodies. What research? If you did the research yourself in your very own kitchen, I don't know how legitimate that is. Hey guys, recent studies have shown that the sky is red. I know that all of your eyes work and you can see that it's clearly blue, but I said there was a study involved, so you're just gonna have to take that at face value. Alright, and then at the end of the video it says citations linked in bio. Alright, now we're on the TikTok page for the video. Let's find the bio. All I see is that comments are turned off. Okay, you've got some kind of link here. Let's check it out. Here I see at the bottom, my sources. Alright, so their sources are a Word document that's in Google Docs, although it does reference a couple of other studies, such as this one. This study was done by Linda Bacon and Lucy Aframar. Or is it Lindo Bacon now? I have perused through this page and it is extremely biased. It was clearly written by somebody who is obese, or from one of the food companies themselves. What's just as important as reading the words in a research article is researching who funded the research. I think we'll find a funny coincidence when it comes to most research, and that is whoever funded it always benefits from it. Back in the day, doctors not only said that smoking was okay, 9 out of 10 of them recommended Camel brand cigarettes. R.J. Reynolds, you bastard. Concern regarding overweight and obesity is reflected in a diverse range of policy measures aimed at helping individuals reduce their body mass index. That was way more wordy than it needed to be. You see, this fools the casual reader into thinking that this is actual science. If they throw the word nuance in there, and systemic, then you'll know it's real science. Several clinical trials comparing health at every size to conventional obesity treatment have been conducted. Some investigations were conducted before the name health at every size came into common usage. These earlier studies typically used the terms non-diet and intuitive eating and included an explicit focus on size acceptance as opposed to weight loss or weight maintenance. Alright, so you're saying that these studies came out back when it was called non-diet or intuitive eating. Back before it was called health at every size. So why are you trying to tie it into health at every size then? Because that's a completely different thing. Intuitive eating, I believe, tries to do healthy eating, but just in a different way where you listen to your body more. Whereas health at every size is just complete reckless abandon, where we throw whatever tastes good into our mouth. Pretty sure that was not the basis of non-diet or intuitive eating. Those were still somewhat based on improving your health, not just on throwing in the towel. You can pause this if you would like to read. Here's the first page. Here's the next page. Read it if you would like. I read enough of that for my bullshit detector to start going off, so I decided to not give myself an ice pick lobotomy by continuing to read the rest of it. We're not going to throw out the many years, decades worth of research showing how unhealthy obesity is just because you're like, actually, a new study came out yesterday. Says all that other crap is nonsense. Actually, even though our common sense shows us and tells us that it's incredibly unhealthy to be obese, we see people that can't even breathe by themselves, okay, because of their obesity. We need to throw all that out the window because there's a new study that came out that was conducted by obese people or by whatever company seeks to benefit from people being obese. Honestly, if it's not from fluffykittenparty.com, or was it .org? Then I can't trust it. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.